Some people treat New Year's like a doorway, not because the calendar has magic, but because the mind does. There's something strange that happens when a year ends. The same life, the same problems, the same room, but suddenly it feels like you could become a different person. And the truth is, that feeling isn't random. Psychology has a name for it: a fresh start. Your mind doesn't experience time as one long line. It breaks life into chapters: school years, birthdays, new jobs, breakups, and especially New Year. These moments act like a psychological reset button, not because they erase the past, but because they separate it. Your brain creates a boundary. This was before, this is now. And that boundary is powerful because it changes how you see yourself. In the middle of a random week, you feel trapped inside your patterns. But at the start of a new year, your mind temporarily believes those patterns belong to an older version of you. That's why people suddenly feel motivated. Not because they gained discipline overnight, but because their identity feels more flexible. You feel like you can rewrite something. But here's the part most people don't notice. The new year doesn't just create hope, it creates pressure. Because when the year is ending, your mind naturally begins to measure your life. What did I do? What did I waste? Where did I fall behind? Even if you don't consciously think about it, you can feel it in the background, a quiet tension, a mental audit. And for deep thinkers, this is stronger. Because deep thinkers don't just remember the year, they interpret it. They attach meaning to it. They replay moments and ask questions most people avoid. What did this year prove about me? Did I change at all? Am I becoming who I'm supposed to be? And that's where New Year becomes dangerous. Because if you're not careful, your mind doesn't use New Year as a fresh start. It uses it as a verdict, a final judgment. And when someone feels judged by their own mind, they don't feel motivated. They feel heavy. So the question becomes, why do some people feel inspired at the end of the year while others feel drained, anxious, or empty? The answer is simple. It depends on what you think the new year is. Most people treat it like a goal-setting moment. Deep thinkers often treat it like a meaning-making moment. And meaning-making is heavier. Because goals are simple. You either did them or you didn't. But meaning is endless. You can always find a way to feel behind. You can always find proof that you should have done more. This is why resolutions usually fail. Because the resolution is rarely the real problem. The real problem is the identity behind it. People don't fail because they didn't try hard enough. They fail because they tried to become a different person in one night. They wake up on January 1st and expect a new personality. But the mind doesn't change from motivation. It changes from repetition. That's why New Year motivation fades so fast. Motivation is emotion, and emotions don't last. So if New Year isn't the moment you transform, what is it actually good for? Psychologically, the end of the year is best used for one thing: closing. Not starting, closing. Because your mind can't fully begin a new chapter while the old chapter is still emotionally open. Unfinished conversations, unresolved regrets, old self-images. You carry them into the next year like invisible weight, and you wonder why you feel tired even before the year begins. So instead of obsessing over a perfect new version of yourself, the healthier question is, what am I still carrying from last year? It could be a guilt you never processed, a failure you never forgave yourself for, a version of you that you secretly hate. And if you don't release it, you won't feel the fresh start effect. You'll just feel the fresh start pressure. This is why some people make big promises in January and feel empty by February, because they didn't reset. They just restarted the same loop with a new calendar. Now, here's the deeper part. The reason New Year feels powerful is because it creates distance between you and your past, and distance creates clarity. When something is far away, you can see it differently. So the best way to use the new year is not to create a long list of goals, but to choose one shift in identity. Not, I will do 20 things, just one. I'm becoming the kind of person who, and then one simple behavior that proves it. Because the brain believes what it sees repeatedly, not what it hopes for once. And this is why deep thinkers actually have an advantage. Because you don't just chase goals, you chase meaning. So if you choose the right meaning, you can turn New Year into something real. Not a motivational moment, a psychological turning point. A quiet decision. Not to become perfect, but to stop repeating the same year again. And maybe that's what New Year is really for. Not a sudden rebirth, just a clear moment where you finally see the pattern and choose not to live inside it anymore. This is Human Depth, understanding the mind beneath the surface.